Welcome to our top 5 picks at the 2018 SEMA Show, or maybe top 6, or top 7, top 8. We're obviously pretty big S2000 fanboys here at Speed Academy, so why not start it off with the Evasive Motorsports. I assume it's an AP2. Peter probably knows more than I do.
Yeah, I think it is.
And it is incredible. It's got a completely new Voltex aero kit on it, which is mind-blowingly aggressive, and the quality of the workmanship in their carbon fiber is just like staggeringly good. I don't know what's under the hood. I think it's maybe a supercharged
An
S2000.
HKS supercharger, I assume, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of been their go-to setup. I know it's got a sequential gearbox. If you look at the shifter inside, that's a pretty good tip-off. Rumor has it, actually, this car is going to be equipped with a K20C. That's the turbocharged motor out of the new Civic Type R. Well, that'll be pretty radical to see that motor in this chassis in the future, but even as it sits, it's incredible. And I love these new Advan TC4 wheels. They are super sexy. I don't know how they keep putting a fresh spin on 5-spoke design wheels, but somehow Race just keeps doing it.
And what about that aero, DP?
Oh man, it's next level.
That front diffuser, it is pretty insane.
I want it so badly for our car, but I'm not thinking this is really street-friendly aero, is it? This is trailer queen territory, but man, it is super, super badass.
Here is another pick. This is a Nismo 370Z, and at first glance you think, all right, it's got awesome Nismo wheels, great looking lip kit, a lot of really neat details, but what's lurking under the hood is really what is a standout for me, and that is a twin turbo VR30. This kind of comes in the Q60, a lot of those cars, and normally this would be a naturally aspirated motor, but MA Motorsports has swapped this in here, and really it begs the question, should the Z come with this motor? I definitely think so. There's a host of amazing goodies on here. I really love the interior, very track inspired obviously. Sparco seats, Sparco steering wheel. Check this out. Exhaust pipes out the bumper, and how good does that look? I think this should be a factory option. They've also integrated this nice little diffuser thing area down here. So all in all, the execution on this car is absolutely fabulous. 2 thumbs up from me.
Next up on our top 5 list is this 1991 VW Golf, which is now an all-wheel drive VR6
R32 swap.
Yeah, it's so wild, my brain can't even get wrapped around it. He has a sequential gearbox inside with synchro mesh gears, so it's like a very streetable setup. The fact that they converted this to all-wheel drive is pretty mind-blowing. It's all R32 stuff underneath. You can't fit up a lot of the older like Mark IV stuff on it, so they had to convert it all to the newer R32 stuff. It's got a one-off Pandem body kit, legit Pandem body kit that was commissioned specifically for this project, which I think looks absolutely stunning on the car. It gives you like that wide stance, kind of reminds me of like a Scirocco or a Corrado, the way it's all flared out like that. It's beautiful. The stance is perfect. It's on a nice set of rotiform wheels. The interior in this thing is pretty incredible too. He's got a Wi-Fi steering wheel, which kind of blows my mind. Apparently, all the functionality in the car can be controlled through the steering wheel, and when you disconnect it, it shuts all of that off, so everything's locked down. You literally cannot start this car without the steering wheel in place, so it's a pretty neat feature. You can see it's got an AEM CD7 dash inside, and it's all AEM sensors inside, so it's all AEM controlled, which is pretty neat to see. It's got a ATL fuel cell on the back. It's got some new performance, like a swirl pot setup there, I believe that is. It's the complete package. This thing is really wild. I feel a little inspired to build a VW now, Pete. What do you think? What are we doing, buddy?
I'm into it.
Are you? Next on our list of top 5s is this Pandem Widebody FC in the Spec Clutch booth. There's another Pandem one, the Gt car, which is also beautiful, and we could call it a tie between those. They're both stunning cars. We really like all the titanium stuff in the engine bay that they, I believe it's built by Lucky 7 Racing out of California. Dave from Spec Clutch was telling us that they're actually based at Buttonwillow, so those sound like our kind of guys. Titanium intake. Peter knows a thing or two about that. All vibrant HD plant. It's a Turbo 2 motor, although it's got the FD intake manifold on it. Single turbo conversion apparently makes about 450 at the wheel. I believe it's running Spec's 3+ clutch kit, something our buddy Dano has some experience with in his crazy 911 twin turbo V8 car. What's not to like about this, Peter? The T37Vs, we got big brakes, we got nice aero, we got a Pandem wide body kit. What more do you need? Speaking of the Gt Pandem body kitted FC. Here it is in all its glory. It is a beautiful machine too. It's a tough call between the Lucky 7 car and this one. They're both amazing builds. This one is also still rocking a proper rotary engine under the hood. We had a peek under the hood before with someone from Greddy, and it's beautiful. This is actually the personal car of the owner from Pandem. This is I guess his American runaround car. So it must be nice to build a car this badass to come up to America and do a little wrapping around in.
There are so many Resto Mod, Pro Mod muscle cars at this show that it is really hard to choose just one. But if I had to do it, it would be this Dodge Charger. I think it's a 1970, and it is all carbon. It is from SpeedKore, and that's really all I know about it. But when you just look at it, it is an absolutely stunning work of art. So we're going to show you some more of it.
Being in the midst of Resto Mod and Connie Celica, I have a lot of appreciation for what you're looking at right here. This is an MG GT Coupe, and it is a very special car. It has a Ford factory crate motor in it that has been modified by Roush with ITBs up top. Pretty damn cool to see that. In fact, it's kind of an MG with Mustang goodies underneath. It's got an 8.8 rear end in it. It's got a Mustang gearbox in it as well. So it's got Mustang performance in what is about a 2,300 pound package, which is pretty stunning. The fender flares are done custom by the owner. He's managed to fit 18-inch wheels and tires under this car, which look remarkably good on it. You'd think of 70s cars maybe needing a smaller wheel and tire package, but it just works on this car. And there's so many cool details. The interior is beautifully done. The leather wrapped roll bar is giving me terrible ideas for Connie Celica. The way he's routed the headers through the fenders, this is a packaging challenge. He's got cantilever rear suspension. It's just got all the cool engineering stuff in it. So to me, this thing is a very, very big thumbs up.
If you know us here at Speed Academy, you know that we love the rotary, and this is probably the king of rotaries, isn't it, DP?
4-rotor, bro.
I mean, a 4-rotor FD. This is what wet dreams are made of. This thing apparently makes close to 1,400 horsepower, which
That'll
is
do.
just insane. And the craftsmanship on this build is absolutely stunning. Oil coolers, intercoolers, the whole front is full of coolers. The rear is full of coolers. The inside is absolutely phenomenal. This is such a cool car.
Have we saved the best for last, Peter? I think some of you guys...
For me, that you definitely have.
we may have.
Huge
This is-
BMW fan.
What a machine. This is, of course, an E30 M3, but as you can probably tell, in the engine bay, something a little different. This is, I think, the world's first F80 engine swap.
It is, yeah.
What is the engine code on this again? S55, I think, I believe. Is that what it's called?
I think so, yep.
Did I get
Got
that
an
right?
F80, M3, M4.
Clearly, I'm not a BMW expert, but these guys from a company called Honest Assembly are, and they have converted it to this powertrain in what I think is an incredibly clean style. It's the dash inside is out of that M4 as well. The rear end is actually still E30 rear end that's been rebuilt and fortified for the extra power. Probably makes, I think, around 500 horsepower according to these guys. It's here in the CSF booth, so it's obviously got upgraded intercoolers and radiators in it. I'm just going to tell you about it, Peter. It's just immaculate. Every nut and bolt on this has been restored. It's had like
It was actually a hail damage car, I was
was it?
told. Yeah.
yeah, I understand it was like stripped right down to bare metal and fully restored. The interior is like a brand new car. It's just super badass. I love everything about it. So I think that's a wrap on what we consider our five best from SEMA 2018. But let's be honest, it's impossible to choose a best car at a show like this. There's 1,000 best cars here today. So if you watched our day 1 and day 2 coverage or today's coverage, let us know in the comment section what you think the best cars were. And as a matter of fact, there's still lots more to see here. So why don't we cruise around a little bit more and show you a few more cool cars before it's really and truly a wrap.
Stigma. Not always the best. It's too expensive. So that's why we branched out into the fenders and the body part.
With an 8-inch touchscreen and professional race car. This is the not-for-sale Gt 14 drift car with a blistering top speed and accessible.
We are rolling.
All
We
right.
are rolling. All right. We're still rolling.
Yeah. If you know us here at SpeedKore.